Do you have a small farm, a big farm, or just critters in the backyard to feed? If you answered yes to any of those questions, then you need to make the short drive down to A&B Feeds in Etheridge, Tennessee today. Owner and operator Jamie Ayers has you covered and will treat you right. That's A&B Feeds in Etheridge, Tennessee.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
And welcome here to X Sports Live here from our new studio here on Weekly Creek Road. Man, the band is back together. We've got the quartet here on X Sports Live. Hayden Burks, Clint Brazier, and Dusty Kaiser. Guys, it is good to have the band back together here on what's turned out to be a pretty beautiful Wednesday evening.
Man, it has.
Yeah, I went home and put on shorts.
Shout out to our man. We not had him in a couple weeks. Hi, Kevin.
Well, he'd been at the beach last week, right?
He's been at anywhere but here is where Kevin's been.
Well, can't blame him for going to the beach last week. And he worked while he was down there.
I think he worked a lot. A lot of
ball games got covered last week.
Yeah, it did.
Shout out to Kevin Will.
And on that note, I want to give a shout out to him. I want to give a shout out to Stanley Wilson, Timmy Kinnick, and everybody else that covered and called games down there, because that was great. You got to see a lot of Lawrence County baseball, a lot of Summertown softball, and Summertown baseball down there. So that's huge.
Speaking of Lawrence County baseball and softball, they're our guest here tonight. Let's start off with the Wildcats, guys. They're sitting at 6-1 on the season, and what a great start it has been for the Wildcat baseball team. And it's almost like a 180 from what we saw a year ago.
Yeah, only loss was at Gulf Shores in the Final Four of that tournament, right? And then they beat Loretta the other night, 1-0, I think. So it's good a start as you could probably hope for. Second-year coach Clint Ryder, who you'll be talking to here in a minute.
Yeah, AJ, we were there for all season last year, and now here we are. We started this season off, and it has been a 180. And I'm just really proud of where the team's come. Clint has put so much time and effort in these boys. They're kind of buying into the program. They're buying into what Clint is trying to coach them up at. And hey, hats off. We got a bunch of seniors stepping up. Isaiah pitched a game Monday night against Loretta. We'll get into that a little later. Pitched a great game, and just proud of where these boys are going.
Absolutely, especially with their grip they got. Like y'all been saying, I mean, it's just been a complete 180 for this team. I always say they struggled last year, but man, starting 6-1 overall this season, I mean, just those first 4 games for them, they just looked like they were just the better team, and they looked like the team to beat down there at the beach. So, I mean, just hats off to them. I'm really excited to see the Wildcats baseball team throughout this season. I think they'll go really far in the postseason, in my opinion.
That Loretto game, what a pitching duel we have between Isaiah and Carter Daniel.
Man, Carter Daniel.
Carter with 14 strikeouts, and it was a cold night. It was going to be low scoring to begin with, but man, him and Isaiah's arms were hot in that game. And Isaiah made some great plays in the field as well, which was really impressive. And especially with Carter coming off an ACL tear, what he had.
He didn't miss a step.
I mean, he didn't miss a step.
Not at all.
Didn't look like anything, like he'd had any kind of injury.
Yeah, and it was pretty impressive. Now, the Lady Cap softball team off to a 2-1 start here. Win against Wayne County, a big district opening win here the other night against Tullahoma. Got Marshall County coming up, and they had some momentum. Clint, you saw them there towards the end of the year last year in the district tournament. Had some momentum there, and they've certainly carried it into this year.
Yeah, they have a big win the other night. Kind of high scoring game against I think you were on that.
I was,
against, Tullahoma. That was a great walk off home run, and that Tullahoma team that you struggled with last year.
Yeah.
So that's a good first step in district play as far as that goes.
Absolutely, especially like you said, Clint. I was covering that game. I knew Tullahoma. They've been a thorn in the side of Lawrence County early in the season last year. Beat them in the postseason during district, and then just yesterday. At first, they put up 3 runs against Lawrence County at the top of the first, and after that, just Lawrence County took off, and their bats were hot throughout the whole game. So just hats off, and I think we got a good baseball team and softball team in Lawrence County this year, and I'm excited to see how they perform.
Well, and the girls, we didn't talk about it. They went to Columbia last week. Me and AJ was on that one, and hey, that's a very, very good Columbia team. And
They got a kid that I've had the pleasure of coaching, Sevilla Morgan.
That's the real deal.
She's the real deal. She's the
Have
real
you ever
deal.
seen anybody that fast?
Guys, I mean,
No.
that's wicked. That's wicked speed.
I'm telling you, she puts it on the ground. I've seen her put it on the ground and hit it back to the pitcher and beat it out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was just
She was as
unbelievable.
advertised
Yes.
in that game.
Yes.
Everyone told her she was great. Obviously, she's going to Tennessee, and she showed out in a big way. And moving on to the Loretto side of things, not a great week baseball-wise. Starting things off, had that game against Lawrence County, struggling against Hardin County, but we all know baseball has its ebbs and flows in the game. And hey, it's not about how you start. About how you finish. That's a super talented team. You know how good their pitching staff is. Had a 4-0 week last week and has kind of scuffled the start here, but this is a team with all the firepower and the good arms they have can certainly make a big comeback.
Absolutely, and they start 4-0, beating Marshall County, Tennessee Monarchs, and then beat Giles County in the doubleheader.
That sweep was
That sweep was big time for them, but they struggled against Lawrence County. Obviously, it was a cold night for both teams. Both teams kind of struggled, but like you said, the pitching duel was unbelievable, and then they just had a tough night at I was actually on the call last night against Hardin County. Just tough for both teams. Obviously, Hardin County was their opening night too, their opening game. So, Low Ready. Boy, yep, they're going to get on me.
Oh, what was that? Sundroop? Sundroop?
Yep, Sundroop. But anyways, with Loretta.
from our group chats you have.
we ain't gonna get that. But anyways, with Loretta, I know they'll bounce back. Like you said, they got an amazing pitching staff, and they're one of those baseball schools that you can never count out. So I'm looking forward to their season.
There's no
as well.
reason to put any concern in it. And I don't care. Baseball, you're not hitting like you want to right now.
No.
Not in early March. You're not hitting like you want to right now. They've got the pitching staff that let the weather warm up, let them see more pitches, let the bats get going.
It's all on
They're
reps.
going to be fine.
It's all on reps. There's not a whole lot more you can say. I'm going to say about them, except very talented. They need to hold their heads up. They got a big season ahead of them. They'll be fine.
Well, softball-wise, speaking of Columbia, they beat them 14-1
Right.
on Monday night, and they losing someone like Briley Dover's tough. But when I asked them, when I saw them 3 times on Saturday, they feel offensively they're a bit ahead of where they were a year ago, and those girls have only really been playing softball for about a week and a half.
Oh yeah.
Right
You
now,
have so
after
many
coming off
basketball
that
players.
basketball run.
And I was going to ask you. I knew they lost their first game Saturday, and I knew they won their second. What did they do in that nightcap? Because I left before.
They lost that one as
That
well.
team they're playing was really,
Gotcha.
really good.
Gotcha. I was there, it finally just got too cold for me, and I'd been there all day, and I said, I'm leaving.
Yeah. I was thanking God for the 75-minute time limit.
Right.
For those games, and they've got Emily Cozart back pitching. They got Mallory Corbin pitching for the first time since her 7th grade.
She
year.
looked good.
She did look good.
I didn't see the last game if she pitched at all or how much or whatever, but that first game, I thought she pitched well. It was a low-scoring game, and I thought she pitched well.
Yeah, I thought she did well as well, and that's a team that's guys that are probably going to be playing pretty deep into the postseason as well, I would imagine. Now moving on the Summertown side of things, obviously softball team off to a good start. The only losses happened down at the beach. Played some good competition, played some 6A, 5A teams down there and held their own, and come back here, beat Forest, beat Richland, and they're kind of just back in that same groove.
Yeah, I was shocked that it was. I know Richland's got a good pitcher, but I'm not exactly. I don't know. Coach Burleson's the biggest sandbagger you'll ever talk to in your life. I'm sure he wasn't happy with that close game last night, but it's close as Summertown and Richland probably been in a while softball-wise. But, hey, I was impressed watching them down at the beach. They were hitting the ball well, and they're about 3 pitchers deep.
Yeah.
One struggling, we'll plug another one right in. I think they're okay.
Yeah, that's another team that we're going to be busy in the sub-state for sure. We hope that sub-state is at Summertown,
Right.
and they can go back to Murfreesboro. Baseball-wise, I know not the start that they were wanting, but you got a pitcher like Grayson Burleson, you got the talent that they have. They can certainly break out of that quick.
Well, I talked to Timmy today after I talked to you, and I said, I guess I need to make some phone calls, figure out what our basement, because I've just watched bits and pieces of some of their games and stuff, and so, but I knew they weren't off to a great start, but I said, why don't you just come on the He said, I can't come on the show. I said, what do I need to say about him? He said, we suck. Of course, now, with that in mind, Timmy's got a kid that plays, too.
Yes. We
And
gotta
he's
remember
probably
that.
a little disappointed. He's having some arm trouble as well, but or some labrum trouble as well, but that his basically thing was they're pitching, they're playing so many games a week that their pitching's running a little thin because his son's normally in the pitching rotation. He can't pitch, and so then they rely on a lot of freshmen. So they're in games, but then they have to pull pitchers, and then they just he said we're having to go deep into our pitching staff, and it's hurting us. But he said the main thing is we ain't hitting. So they'll, like I said, give that more time. They'll be all right.
Yeah, give them time. It will happen. Now let's kind of move on to basketball. We weren't here last week. I was coming back from Disney World. You were with UT Southern NAIA tournament. We were everywhere in that week. Start first with the Loretto girls. What a great run that they made all the way to the state championship game. Beat Westview convincingly.
The two-time defending
Yes.
state champions.
Yeah, beat Gatlinburg-Pickman, which a lot of people were surprised by that.
Got down
In
quite a
overtime.
bit.
Yeah.
In
Got
overtime.
down quite a bit in that game
Yes,
too.
They did.
Yes, they did. And then right there with Gibson County all the way to the end. And what a great run that this Lady Mustang team went on. And special, they're losing some seniors, got a lot coming back, got some coming up through the middle school system. But what a special run that they had this year.
And I think they can make it. Yes, first of all, it was a great run. As much as I hate to say it, because they beat us 3 out of 4 times, but I think they can make a run next year.
Oh, absolutely.
And yes, it's going to hurt to lose JB. It's going to hurt to lose Emily Kozart, but Gibson County's losing a lot. And hey, from what I understand, they're losing their coach.
Yeah.
That he's retiring. Of course, that Gibson County's just kind of like Summertown and Loretta. They're just
They reload, they don't rebuild.
Yeah,
so
they
you
don't.
never know, but Loretta's still got Allie Weathers, who should and better be a Miss Basketball finalist next year.
That game against Gatlinburg, where she played every minute
That's
of an
one
overtime game.
That's
was
one of
impressive.
the.
She had
that's one of-
33,
that's-
didn't they?
That's
that
one of the
game?
best state tournament performances I've ever seen, and I've been up there a lot.
Very, very special. And Hayden, UT Southern got themselves a win in the NAIA tournament. Obviously couldn't pull it out there against Indiana Wesleyan, but what a great end to a lot of careers, including yourselves. There is the NAIA Manager of the Year, but guys got to close it out there in the NAIA tournament, got a win, and made some noise in the tournament.
Absolutely. It was a special season, a historical season for UT Southern men's basketball. Obviously, first time, well, actually, second time since I've been there. We've been to the national tournament. My sophomore year got put out in Idaho, and then this past week we went to Indiana, beat Tougaloo, the Gulf Coast regular season champions. It was fun playing them. Very athletic and really good team that can knock down some shots. And that was a tough game. And then Indiana Wesleyan, and just that was probably the best atmosphere like anybody can play in. I mean, you're the team that came in there. That I mean, win or go home for both teams. But like you get to play in that environment where you're on the road against the home team. Win or go home. All the pressure's on them. Both teams have been in the top 10 throughout most of the season. It was pretty special, and I'm going to miss the guys for sure. But overall, just this season, I'm really impressed with the guys. 19-game win streak at one point, most in the school history for UT Southern men's basketball. So I'm happy. I'm sad it came to an end, but I wouldn't trade anything for it for sure.
And I do want to, and I didn't keep up with UT Southern that much until tournament time, but I want to give a shout out to former Summertown Eagle, Mr. Brady Brown.
Brady had a tremendous game against
He had a
Eagle.
great game, and he also had a great career. And it's been a pleasure to call him at Summertown. It's been a pleasure to watch him at UT Southern.
Yep. Leads UT Southern men's basketball in 3-pointers made too with 240,
40,
yeah, something.
48 or something.
Yeah, something like that. So I mean, he's in the history books up there. So proud of him for sure.
Two special seasons came to a close. Well, guys, we're here in the middle of spring. Coming up next year, we'll have the Lawrence County baseball team when we return on X Sports Live.
Arctic Air keeps your home or business comfortable. For more than 20 years, we provided outstanding residential and commercial services through Southern Middle Tennessee. Whether you need assistance with your heat, air conditioning, preventive maintenance, or anything in between, trust our reliable team to get the job done. We'll take the time to figure out your specific needs and recommend what we believe is right and best for your situation.
We've been using Arctic Air for over 15 years now. Their service is great, they're here when we need them, and their prices are competitive. They take the worry out of the heat and air so I don't have to.
Arctic Air. When you need us, we'll be there.
Financial advisor Scott Beasley knows time spent with family is everything. As a founder of Beasley Wealth Management, his mission is to give clients the freedom to enjoy time with family without the burden of financial concerns. A local of Lawrenceburg, Scott deeply values building relationships with clients, ensuring they make informed decisions concerning asset management, tax planning, and retirement planning. Offering a free initial consultation, Beasley Wealth Management helps clients pursue their aspirations with confidence. A local law firm respected throughout the state. Generations of clients have turned to Boston, Holt, and Durham since 1948. We assist individuals and businesses with their legal needs, including real estate, property closings, personal injury, employment discrimination, and family law. Our clients get the personal attention and convenience of a hometown law firm with the resources and ability to handle any case. Come see us at Boston, Holt, and Durham.
At C&B Linen, fast, friendly, and reliable service is our promise to you. Because you're not just a customer, you're family. From multi-use linen to branded floor coverings and a complete range of cleaning supplies, C&B Linen is here to make sure you have everything you need. From our high-quality products to our fast, friendly, and reliable service, you'll experience the difference with C&B Linen. Because you're not just a client, you're part of our family. You'll be winning with C&B Linen.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
And welcome back here to X Sports Live, joined here by the Lawrence County baseball team. We literally got half of their lineup here, including their head coach. And guys, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody?
What's up? My name's Kason Smith.
What's up? I'm Isaiah Bentley.
I'm Cutler Cope.
And I'm Clint Wright.
All right, guys, great start here to the season already, sitting at 6-1 on the year. Just tell everybody what's been working for you so far.
There you go. Y'all was playing.
I didn't tell them to put the mics on. This is not a great start to this. It's on us. My bad, guys. Okay. Whoever wants to start, that's okay. We'll redo this. Go ahead and start with Coach Wright. Just 6-1 start here to the season. What's really been working for this team?
Yeah, it's just really sound defensively. We're throwing the baseball pretty well. It's a team that's obviously tested. You know, tough year last year, and they've really bought into the process of leaving that in 2023. You know. It's a new team with new goals and new ways of doing things, and they're really bought into the process. And it's a different team as in together. I mean, we're very together. It feels like got a lot of guys playing for each other.
I agree with what he said. We're definitely defensively sound. We got an elite pitching staff that just knows what they want to do and can do it whenever they want, and just we need to hit more. We just need to be more relaxed. I feel like we just need to settle in, and where we're at now, I feel like I got high hopes.
Yeah, we've been playing pretty loose lately, hitting the ball pretty well, pitching the ball very good, playing good defense. That's why we're 6-1. And the bench, man, they love to get into the game. They love to get into the game.
Yeah, I love it, dude. This year compared to last year is just so different. Why are you laughing? Anyways,
Love it, dude.
I do love it. Love this team. Doing way better. Pitching is awesome. I love the pitching. We already have, 4 complete games this year. Doing great. Hitting the ball way better than we did last year. Just loving it all.
I was going to ask, what's the differences here from last year to this year? Is it just kind of familiarity with everybody, or just more confidence with this group?
I think that they're a lot more confident. Obviously, it's one of those things. I mean, our coaching staff does a great job. Coach Clayton and Coach Godwin, Coach Ruddick, one thing Coach Godwin's always talking about is how you've got to be loose, you've got to be confident. Okay, and I think a lot of the year last year we went to the plate really pressing. We needed something good to happen. Something good needed to happen, and it caused us to press. And if you're pressing, if you're going to the plate uptight, it's not going to work out. And we've still got a few dudes that are doing it, but I mean they're a couple of barrels away from loosening it up a little bit. We're going to have fun. Offense is fun. And the good thing about this team is man, a lot of times if you get 4 or 5, you're in a good spot. Yeah. You're in a good spot.
And definitely the confidence comes from the work we've done over the offseason. I feel like you said, buying in and just going with the plans, and it's definitely paid off so far. But I feel like we just need to let that work show.
Having fun. I've had a lot of fun, especially hitting and pitching. So much fun. And everybody else is having fun too, and it's starting to show.
Yeah, my relationship with this team compared to last year is way better. Love these dudes. I love it. Just having fun, I guess. Like what he said.
Kind of a wild week you guys have had. 1-0 game at Loretto, and then you come over here last night, the 15-6 win. You literally went from one extreme to the other.
And that's a good thing.
Won both games.
I mean, that's a good thing. It was a good thing to see. 'Cause, I mean, you go south, and they're really talented. They're a really talented baseball team down there. They do things the right way. You go down there and you have to just scrape one out. And I knew coming out last night, I was like, they're going to be flat. They're going to be flat because you put so much emotion into that game, to that game Monday night. You come out in the first inning, we were flat. And I challenged them. I mean, after the first half inning, I challenged them in the dugout and said, hey, are you going to respond, or are we caving? Are we caving? And I think we put a 6 spot up in the first inning, and so, I mean, this team responds, and that's a place that I don't think we would have been last year. Right. But it's a sign of growth and maturity within this program,
And being able to bounce back after a 1-run game and being able to score 16, something we definitely couldn't have done last year. And just, I feel like we're more solid through the whole lineup now. And
hitting the ball. That's why we put up quite a bit of points last night. We seen the ball better.
That's right.
And keep getting on
football.
Yeah. Had a lot of runs, and we hit the ball a lot better. It showed.
That game yesterday started off. They scored first. They scored first. They had 4 runs. I feel like last year, if that happened, they scored 4 runs in the first inning. We're defeated. That didn't happen yesterday. We did a lot better. Stayed in the game, kept going.
And that's one thing that I thought was so good to see about an ugly baseball game yesterday. All right, that's not my style. That's not my style of baseball. I'm a pitching guy. I'd like to see 2-1, 1-0, 3-4, whatever it is. But didn't seem like anybody in the dugout legitimately thought we were going to lose that baseball game yesterday. nobody really thought, well, here we go. No, I mean, nobody really thought we were going to lose that game, and I mean to get that out of a very, very good Andrew Kidd, to get that performance out of a very, very good Andrew Kidd, and still be able to win a baseball game is going to pay dividends for us, because that's as bad as I've ever seen Andrew Kidd. And talk to him today. He's like, "Hey, I'm ready to go. Ready to go."
That's just kind of part of baseball.
Yeah, you're never
you're gonna have bad games.
Learn how to compete with your C stuff.
Yeah.
But unfortunately for Andrew last night, I don't think he had his C stuff. It's just a fluky night. But he's a senior, and he's been really successful for us. And I'm gonna roll his butt back out there tomorrow if I get a chance. So it's really good to see confidence.
You guys mentioned the dugout. It's certainly loud, even from where I am, inside of a press box. I can hear it. You guys get really riled up down there, don't you?
Almost a little bit too much. Almost a little bit too much. There's times where some umpires at the beach, they came and said, "Hey, you gotta get them because somebody's about to leave."
Yeah.
And I remember one time I looked at AJ. Bless him. I looked at AJ and said, "AJ, you're about to get somebody thrown out. It's not going to be you. It's going to be me." And he said, "No, Coach, I'll go." Like, how do you respond to that? I mean, they do a really good job, and this is has a lot to do with our, how we're together. It's not about me. It's not about what am I doing right now. It's not about why am I not on the field. It's we got a goal. We've got a goal. So it's good.
Speaking of having fun, this guy's having a blast. Isaiah is. I've noticed him dancing on the mound at that Loretto game. Was it the chicken dance, or they did something? Played some song. I see Isaiah out there dancing on the rubber. I've seen him in the on-deck circle dancing. I love watching this guy play because he plays hard, but he's looking like he's having the time of his life out there.
Yeah, you're right around. It's fun. I love dancing too. Gets me focused. Makes me play harder. Throw harder too.
Speaking of Cutler, talk about the pitching staff and how deep you guys are. You're the guy behind the plate, making plays back there. Just how much fun is it being with this pitching staff this year?
Well, I love how the confidence they have in everything they've got and what we're able to show and how they respond to me, and there's a lot of trust, and I feel like that's come with a lot of hard work, but it's paying off.
We're not calling pitches. We're not calling pitches from the dugout.
This guy?
Yeah, I mean that's one thing. When I first got here, I was like, hey, I went straight to Cutler and said, "Hey, Cutler, you got it, you got it," and that's huge for us, is because I want him and Brooks to build relationships with this pitching staff, because who am I to think that I know what's going on sitting in the dugout? When they've been together in the bullpen and been together all year, and he knows what's working and what's not, and our pitcher always got to do is shake. Throw stuff with conviction. So that's something that Cutler's done a really good job of as a game manager. Is developed into an elite game manager. He does a really good job.
What's it like catching these two?
It's I don't know how. Pretty easy. It's pretty easy at this point. Like, after being with them for more than 4 years, I just know what they got. I pretty much know everything they're going to do, and I'm able to help them most times, and it feels good whenever I'm able to tell them from 60 feet away what they're doing wrong and it changes. So I like that. I like being able to be I like being that deep with the pitching staff.
Finally, guys, you got 3 games coming up this week. Tomorrow, Friday, you got Mount Pleasant home and away. Then you're going to head over to Huntsville. Let's talk about these next 3 games and how important they are for you.
Obviously they're the next 3. That's the next 3. There's nothing we really do about it. They're just you're gonna play whoever's on the other side of the field. I don't know a ton about the Rocket City team. We'll see when we get down there. I know that they take players from, I think, JV teams teams from around Huntsville that didn't make the varsity team, and then they come and play. But they've been beating people. They've been beating people. And it's the same thing I told them last night about that Wilson team was. You can think what you want, but this team's coming in here to beat you. So be ready to play. And that's one thing we've got to do is no matter who it is, you got to come ready to play.
I'm just ready to play some more baseball. That's about it. I mean, three more games this week is just 3 more times I go out and have fun with my friends. So.
Yeah, just gonna have some fun, no matter what I'm doing, center field, left field, pitching, catching, sitting in the dugout, DHing. Never know. Just ready to have some fun.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
No matter who we're playing.
I'll throw you back there, dude.
Yeah, like what they said, I'm just gonna go out there, have fun, play baseball, enjoy it. Last year, enjoy what I got.
Awesome, guys. Well, thank you for joining us here on X Sports Live, and we'll have all 3 of those games on the X Sports Network this week.
Appreciate you having us.
Thank you.
Coming up next will be the Lawrence County softball team here on X Sports Live.
Got a dent, a ding, a scratch, or a bent fender? Major or minor, Car Country Collision Center in Leoma can fix you up. Car Country works with all insurance carriers, gives free estimates, can work on foreign and domestic vehicles, and has experience you can trust. They've been in business since 1990. Unfortunately, accidents happen, but you can get your car back on the road with as little hassle as possible with the help of Car Country. Call 931-852-4708 or stop by at 2567 Highway 43 South in Leoma.
Hey everyone, this is Landon Saunders.
And this is Nate Patterson with Cloud9 Fiber.
We're excited to finally be able to offer Lawrenceburg our blazing fast, reliable, and affordable fiber internet services.
If you're looking for a more reliable and more affordable provider, we at Cloud9 Fiber have you covered.
Plans start at $50 a month, and we can offer up to a gigabit to your home or business.
We are excited to be able to offer your first month of service entirely free. We encourage you to sign up on cloud9fiber.com or by calling 931-201-9098 so we can help you make the switch today.
For the best meal from south of the border, head to Cocina Real and Puente Grande for lunch and dinner. With a wide array of mouth-watering entrees, there's something for everyone on the menu. And you can't forget the cheese dip. They'll treat you like family, and you'll never leave hungry. Make Cocina Real Mexican Restaurant and Puente Grande Mexican Restaurant your choice for authentic cuisine, located in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
And welcome back here to X Sports Live, joined now by the Lawrence County softball team. Guys, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Start with me. All right, I'm Corey Rochelle, the coach.
I'm Michaela Kerr. I'm Addie Newton.
All right, guys, off to a pretty good start here throughout the season. A couple good wins against Wayne County and Tullahoma. Just tell us how the start of the season has been so far.
It's been good, especially compared to last year. We got off such a terrible start last year, and starting out with Wayne County. Wayne County got to the sub-state game last year, so we knew they had a good team, and they knew they had one kid that was good on the mound, and we got behind, but we scored some runs, wound up winning that game. Against Columbia, we had way too many strikeouts. We got off to a good start, had way too many strikeouts. But then we had a really good win was it last night? Yeah, last night Monday night against Tullahoma. Probably one of the top 3 or 4 games that we've hit the ball since I've been involved with the program. So we're off to a good start.
I agree. I feel like Wayne County, we played good. Just like first game coming out, like we were still a little nervous, but I feel like we did good. And then Columbia. And then Tullahoma, I'm so proud. Hitting the ball, defense all around, like we played as a team together. It wasn't just one of us that stood out more than the other. It was all of us, one hitting after another.
Addie?
Yeah, I agree with the same thing. I think hitting we're good. I think defense we're good. If one's not doing good, one not, I think the other could step up. And we work real good as a team, so I'm excited for this season.
What has been the difference from the start last year to the start this year?
Well, number one, pitching. Last year, you know, our ace was a freshman. This year she's a sophomore, and she threw basically every game last year other than the 2 or 3 weeks with a broke hand. So she got a lot of experience last year. We have another freshman that's going to be a really good pitcher. That's going to be a good pitcher. So pitching is a year older. Getting Addie back this year is a huge plus for us. I'm glad to see her back because when these two came in as a freshman, I nicknamed them Frickin' Frack because I think they're the bestest of friends. But I knew when we got to this year, their senior year, I knew how good they were going to be, and they are, and they're doing a great job. They're great leaders, to be honest. They're really good leaders. They're good teammates. This year's team's a little different. Last year, we couldn't catch it in a bucket of water. We just couldn't. I mean, we averaged more errors than we did hits. This year, we can field it. We're solid in the circle. We're not going to hit the ball like we did Monday night every night because we had 17 hits in 5 innings. But scoring 5, 6, 7, 8 runs a game, I think we can do. We're a lot more athletic. All of our young kids are super athletic. I got a lot of options as far as needing to pinch run, courtesy run that I didn't have last year. So overall, we're more athletic. We're a year older in the circle. And our upper class, the seniors and a couple of juniors that we start, they've just improved and they've gotten better. So.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure pitching difference from last year. And I feel like this year we're just more, like you said, we're getting older. And I feel like the freshmen, mainly E from last year, she's more confident. And all the juniors too we're growing more confidence and getting better each day.
Addie, I know you weren't around last year,
Yeah.
but what's been, from what you know, what's been the difference?
I can't really speak for obviously last year, but this year I know us as a team have a lot of fun together, a lot of laughs. We laugh all practice at the same time as getting stuff done. I mean, we could pick each other up at all times. You know, I think we're really close this year, and I think that makes a difference of how you play together.
Addie, you got the little one. I know that's the reason you had this last year, and trust me, I get it, having a little one too. But so what was your process like in getting back and getting ready and getting back on the field?
I was a little nervous at first, how speed-wise, getting back in shape, all that. But I mean, obviously, I'm not where I'd like to be, but I think it's, I don't know. When I left, my confidence was still kind of, because I was a lower classman, but now I feel more confident, less pressure on myself just because.
It didn't take her long.
No, she's hitting the ball well from what I've watched.
It didn't take her long. Addie is a phenomenal athlete. She played basketball and softball, and she just had to get her feet under her, and just, again, one of the things that, like, young kids coming in, they don't understand how much faster it is when they come from middle school ball to high school ball, because typically in softball, you're playing every 2-year gap. So most you're playing against is somebody a year and a half older. Right. So a 14, 15-year-old kid comes in as a freshman, and all of a sudden they're facing 17, 18, 19-year-old kids. So all she had to do was come after a few practices, get her feet under her. She's been super since she's been back. So
she's stinging the ball pretty well.
Absolutely.
From what I've seen,
absolutely.
It hasn't been much of an adjustment.
And to be honest, I had a little bit of a concern that it might take longer. I thought she did great in practice, but I thought once we get into games, it might take us about that third week or so. Yeah. No, She's been, as soon as she got right back in there, she's starting hitting the ball well. She's playing great defense. So I am very proud of her.
Pitching wise, obviously Elizabeth is a sophomore in your ace. You started a freshman a couple times, and she's done well at times. This is obviously a more deeper pitching staff than what you had.
That's right. That's right. We the first 2 games where I started, Callie Brown, she's a freshman. She's completely different than Elizabeth. Elizabeth throws harder, even though she's got some pitches that she spins. Callie, she's a spinner. She throws a curveball, she throws screwball, rise ball, that stuff. Callie's better than what she showed her first 2 outings. Again, you're talking about an incoming freshman. Game 1 gets the start. She's just timid, a little hesitant. Get her a few more times in games, she's going to get better, because the 2 is a good mix, because Elizabeth can start a game or Callie can start a game, and whichever one follows, it's a completely different style.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a good mix, especially by the end of the season.
Obviously, offensively, Michaela and Addie, things are certainly working out. Other than the Columbia game, you guys been able to put the bat on the ball.
Disregard the Columbia game.
Yeah.
Focus on Tullahoma.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I knew these 2 would hit. Riley Myers, senior. I knew Riley was going to put the ball in play. We have a kid she's first year on our team, but she's a junior, plays third base, Maddie Dollar. When you'd call Maddie Bird for 2.
I'm still beating myself up over that.
But she came in, and she was a great addition to our team. She's a really good infielder. She filled Ella's spot from last year as a leadoff, left-handed slapper, can fly. So that was big for us. But to be honest, until we get down to the 2 freshmen at the bottom, we are really tough. And the 2 freshmen at the bottom are going to continue to get better. We're still missing a starter from last year. Miley Staggs broke her foot back in January, and it's not completely healed up yet. We get her back, it'll add another good bat to the lineup. So I like how things have started anyway.
Yeah. And obviously that big win against Tullahoma in district play, and I really felt like you guys really kind of put some things together in that district tournament or going into the district tournament. You feel like that momentum is certainly carried over into this year?
I do. I really do. And the returning kids, I feel like they do, because again, last year we struggled so much. We couldn't score. We couldn't catch it. When we caught it, we couldn't throw it. You know, it was just like we couldn't get out of our own way. And then when the tournament rolled around, we kind of reset. Okay, it's new. We win a couple games, we can advance. We started filling the ball well, hitting the ball well. So for the returning kids, it ended on a good note. Yeah. And all the new kids coming in, we got rid of kids, we pick up some new kids. It was almost like last year was an anomaly. Right. It's gone. We knew what we had this year. We had a lot of confidence moving forward. Now, we still got a lot to do, but again, I give these guys and Riley Myers and a couple of juniors a lot of credit, because since the day they showed up, they didn't play a ton as freshmen, but they got some action and they ran a lot. And so they're seasoned as you can be, to be honest. And they are super good to the younger kids as far as talking to them and helping them. And Mac's one of the best base runners I've ever coached in my, ever. And I would put her up against the kid from Columbia is obviously fast, but I would put Mac's base running against her any day, because she's one of the best base runners. So we use her as an example and have her talk to the younger kids about how to run the bases aggressively and all those things. And so the other night, going back to your question, when we got behind 3-0, I didn't see there was no panic. Yeah. Hey, let's come in, let's score runs, and we did right out of the gate. We tied it right back up. We were right back where we needed to be, and then we just moved forward from there. So last year we would have panicked. Yeah. We would have thought, oh, here we go again. We're down 3-0, and it would have just snowballed from there. But these guys do a great job of just saying, hey, we got to score some runs too. So it was good.
And in the way we did last year in the district, I do feel like it carried over, just because I feel like, or Wayne County game, for example, like we jumped right into play. Like we played good. We acted like we knew what we were doing. We were together as a team. Like we did everything we were supposed to do. But I think what done last year.
I agree with them. I don't have much about last year, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
But I agree with what they're saying.
Which these kids, listen, I give them a ton of credit. You know, we're fortunate we have the indoor now over there, and starting in January, they worked hard. They got in there and they hit and the girls pitched and they worked on defensive stuff. So they've put in the work. I mean, when season when you start and practicing and stuff, it gets to the point I'm done with practice. I'm ready to start playing. And that's where they were. And it wasn't in a negative way. They weren't over anxious. It's like, we're ready. You know, we need some games. And so it's been good. I think that we're going to, by the end of the season, I think we're going to be pretty tough.
Yeah. Guys, what's your leadership role been? I know you got a lot of youngsters being seniors. How have you kind of led them in the right direction?
Just by showing them, hey, just because you make a mistake doesn't mean nothing. We all make mistakes. Don't get down. Because, I mean, when I was a freshman, like, our seniors, they backed us up, too. Like, it means a lot coming from someone older, knowing that it is fine. Like, you're bound to make mistakes. And I just feel like they look up to us and see, like, what we do, and they just feed off of our energy and see. As long as we're up, they stay up with us.
They're just scared to mess up, and we're trying to let them know it's okay to make mistakes. You're going to learn from those mistakes. We're all going to learn from your mistakes. And, you know, just pick yourself up, stay up, and don't stay down on yourself.
And they set the example. No, they don't just tell them. They said, and I'll give you an example. Today, we're practicing today, getting ready for tomorrow. Addie's at shortstop, and we're doing some live hitting. There's a little loopy ball hit over third, 100% wide open, full extension dive in practice. Yeah. So it's not just they're telling them, hey, this is what we got to be doing, this is what we got to work on. They set the example by doing it. Right. And that, to be honest, as a coach, that means more than them saying, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that. Just do what I do. Yeah. And so they set the example.
So obviously finally got Marshall County coming up tomorrow night. Another district game. Mm-hmm. Other sports and other teams aren't fully in the district play, and you guys got game number 2 tomorrow.
That's exactly right. We there's been some years that we've started out first game being district game. So, with softball you do schedule it a little different, just simply because you're not trying to protect arms or anything like that. So. But Marshall County's kind of been our bugaboo a little bit. I know for the last couple of years, there's been times I felt like, we were in good shape in a game, and they come back. They beat us twice on 3-run walk-offs. So, but we got them in the tournament last year. We're not overlooking them for sure. I know they got beat yesterday against Giles, but we're not overlooking them for sure. We're just trying to take care of what we can take care of. I mean, that's kind of, it's easy to look ahead and what do they got and do this and what does this team have and whatnot. If we just take care of what we can do, we're going to be just fine.
Okay.
Marshall County, I mean, from the past, like, they have been good. They have a few girls that can hit, but pitching-wise, I don't know. We don't really know what to expect, but I think just going in, hitting like we did from Tullahoma, hitting's our main key when we play Marshall County. Like, obviously do what we need to do in the field, but it always comes down to hitting between us and them, and we just got to start off the bat tomorrow with that.
Addie?
I agree. I remember my sophomore year, we played Marshall County. It was one of the worst games I ever played, so I'm looking for redemption this year.
You're thinking about it in the tournament, wasn't you?
No. I'm talking about when I threw it.
Yeah,
over,
I know.
Was that in the tournament?
That was in the tournament.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
It was awful.
She couldn't throw it. She couldn't have threw it and hit dirt that game.
It was so bad.
I just finally looked at her and said, from now on, just hold on to it like just catch it and hold on to it like it's T-ball. Don't even throw it. So.
Well, guys, thanks for coming here on the Exports Live, and good luck tomorrow night against Marshall County.
Thanks a lot.
We'll have that game on the Exports Network as well. Coming up next, the guys just the guys. I don't know where I was going with that. The guys are going to break down our bracket. That's coming up next on Exports Live.
Do you ever worry about having too much in the garage? What about where you're going to put the mower, or your ATV, or better yet, your mother-in-law? Look no further than Quality Storage Buildings, located right next door to Flat Rock Cheese and More on the Minor Hill Highway in Pulaski, Tennessee. There you'll find the answer to your need in a compact or spacious metal building. Built by hand right at Flat Rock by some of the finest craftsmen around, there's a perfect building for everyone, including economy, utility, cabin, lofted or garage models, and even an animal shelter line. Buy or rent to own? See the different models at Flat Rock or on North Main Street in Ardmore and on Highway 43 South in Dunn. Call today 931-363-3603 or 931-201-2205.
I'm Mike Keith, and my friends at Elliott Johnson Insurance have a great partner in Auto Owners Insurance. Auto Owners makes it easy to get life, home, car, or business insurance. Let Elliott Johnson Insurance find the Auto Owners policy that makes a difference in your life. Call Elliott Johnson Insurance at one of their 3 locations, Florence, Loretto, and Lawrenceburg. Elliott Johnson Insurance, moving forward for our clients every day.
Welcome to Employee Resources Credit Union, where you're more than just a number, you're family. We provide financial solutions that rise above those of traditional banks. With roots stretching back to 1964, we've served 4 generations during constant industry changes. We're known for our low fees and incredible rates. Join us and experience the credit union difference. ERCU, not for profit, for service.
For decades, First Class Charter has provided high-quality motor coach transportation services to the Tennessee Valley. With numerous safety and cleanliness accreditations, First Class Charter is ready to make your group trip a reality. Contact us today by visiting firstclasscharter.net. First Class Charter, the official motor coach company of the North Alabama Lions.
Flooring sets the tone throughout your home.
For flooring that makes the right first impression, start by choosing us, Floored by Justin.
A one-stop flooring destination. Our new location stands alone for unequaled customer service and selection. Owner Justin Story's mastery of custom hardwood inlays means every room can have a custom look. Discover how the right choice of hardwood, laminate, carpet, or tile can set the tone in your home. Contact Floored by Justin today.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
And welcome back here to X Sports Live. Guys, it's time to break down the brackets, college basketball. I know we're kind of into the playing games right now, and we can't really pick those. I don't think they've ever allowed us to do it other than you can put money on Vegas. So we had some crazy tournaments, guys. It's on the second least amount of 1 seeds in NCAA history won their conference tournaments last week. You know, we had NC State win 5 games in 5 days. We had a school in Long Beach State fire their coach, and then they won the tournament. Yeah. And he literally said in this press conference today, he goes, I'm not answering any question I don't want to because I'm working for free.
Right.
So he called himself the George Costanza of college basketball, which is hilarious. But we'll get into that here in a moment. But I want to start with, we had almost, I don't want to call it an epidemic, but we had an influx of former players with no coaching experience become with Division I head coaches. Now they're all fired. Juwan Howard, Jerry Stackhouse. Did Penny go yet, or is he still hanging on?
He's hanging on by a thread.
He's hanging on. You know, they didn't even make the NIT.
Yeah, we've had Chris Mullen in the past. Avery Johnson was at Bama. That obviously didn't work out. I think it's been proven just because. Now, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to the guys, but just because you play the game doesn't mean you know how to coach them.
Now, a lot of times the best players don't make the best coaches. Right. And Juwan Howard, I saw it less than 2 years ago. I mean, he wants to fight more than he wants to coach.
Yeah, I didn't like that hire.
Leadership.
I don't understand how his name was in the talks of being the Lakers head coach whenever they fired Vogel. I have no clue.
Yeah. He wasn't ever going to coach.
Yeah. Stackhouse and Vandy wasn't. I mean, he was.
Listen.
He was not ready for that. And Vandy's had success before in the past. I don't know why Kevin Stallings ever wanted to go to Pitt because he had it somewhat going there at Vandy, and they haven't been the same since Kevin Stone.
No, he was the most consistent coach they had there for a while.
Yeah.
But I could see why he would want to go to Pitt too and get somewhere a little bit more opportunity to play with better talent, somewhere he could probably felt like he could recruit better with all the, Vanderbilt. That was always the thing about Vanderbilt is you're always having to recruit, but you got to recruit kids with the highest GPA average. You not only were you trying to recruit the best athletes, you had to recruit the best students.
Right.
While he was there, and he probably wanted to go somewhere where it was a little easier to get kids more athletic.
Sure.
Well, now let's take a look at each other at our brackets here, guys. Upsets. Where do you guys going upset-wise?
I'll start just because, AJ, you know this. I don't know, Dusty, Clint, I don't know if y'all know this. UT Southern last year, we went to a Thanksgiving tournament. We played Sanford, and we defeated Sanford. Again, they didn't have they rested their best player, but I still don't think, the way we're playing, I still don't think that would have been a difference. But anyways, besides the point, they're going to be playing Kansas. Sanford's a 13-seed team. They're a very good team in their conference. I believe they actually won their conference and their tournament conference as well. They're a team that obviously they were good last year, and they didn't rebuild, they reloaded and hitting the transfer portal. And with Kansas, obviously everybody had Kansas as the so-called favorite with bringing in Hunter Dickerson from the NIL deal. I can't remember what the number amount, but it was a ridiculous amount. But Dickerson's hurt. Don't know about his status, but I can't remember the name of the other player for Kansas. He's got a knee injury and he's out. I got Sanford. I think that's my biggest upset. That, or I could see Illinois getting upset.
One I was looking at, because I don't have my bracket pulled up, is
Forehead, yeah.
I like Vermont maybe beating Duke, but I also like, let's see, where was it? I also honestly like James Madison.
Yeah, I've got James Madison. I mean, every year you can at least count on 112 beating a 5, 113 against a 4. And you talk about the SoCon, that was a 14-3 when Furman beat Virginia last year. And like I was telling Dusty on Sunday, when I was covering the SoCon in Macon, Georgia, Sanford, you had VMI, the Citadel, and Sanford in men's basketball. And then you had everybody else kind of fighting for position. So to see that rebound, I mean, obviously you guys went down there and beat them last year. See that rebound's big. I've got UAB over San Diego State.
I like that one.
I love just UAB is always good, always pretty decent. Drake over Washington State. Hey,
I got that one too.
You never want to take. You never want to be the team that plays a Missouri Valley team in the tournament, because they're pretty much a Big 10, Big 12 team. Sorry, Dusty. I like Charleston over Alabama.
I don't like that.
I've heard a bunch of people say that though.
They got a really good coach. They're really athletic. I'm trying to see where else here.
New Mexico State and Clemson, I see.
Yeah, I got New Mexico. I got New Mexico in the Sweet 16.
New Mexico, excuse me.
Oregon, I mean, Dana Altman's always going to have them ready to play.
Yep.
I think McNeese State's kind of turning into an attractive pick for a lot of people with Will Wade.
I'll tell you a game, it won't be an upset because it's 8-9, but one I'm really excited about is that A&M and
Nebraska. Nebraska, their offense is legit.
That 8-9 game could be a very, very good one.
I think, but for me, the number one is going to be NC State.
Yeah, I've got them over Texas Tech.
Yeah.
That's for me. That's my number one upset. And I don't know that. I mean, I don't think they're going to beat Kentucky, but I think they're going to give Kentucky all they want.
Kentucky, you just never know. I mean,
But you don't know.
Honestly, college basketball is like college football right now. That's the main thing I'm worried about. Tennessee is just how bad they looked in their first round in the SEC tournament, and I'm just wondering.
St. Peter's.
St. Peter's is there.
Yeah.
We saw them in the past.
And you've got Point Guard playing against his brother. Yeah, you're sure, too. But
that's ugly.
But that in the back of my head, I do. Like I said, I've got on this board, just on this one, because there's no money on it.
Kentucky's playing a good.
But I do have Tennessee picked to win it. But what I'm worried about with Tennessee and teams like that, teams like Tennessee, teams like Kentucky, are, if you're Connect and players that are top 5, top 10
pigs, slaughtered pigs.
How hard are you going? How much does this mean to you?
Right.
I hope that it means
I hope it means everything
but
to
we've
you.
already saw bowl games don't mean a lot to seniors.
No, they don't mean anything.
I mean, Kentucky's going to have a hard time with Oakland. I was driving back from Disney watching that game because, we all know I-75 is like a straight shot. Not much turns you got to make from Orlando. And Oakland team's got one guy that can make a shot on anywhere on the court. We all know Kentucky doesn't like to play defense.
Yeah.
I've got them in the Sweet 16. I don't feel good about it because I think they're eventually they're either going to get upset in that game or NC State's going to beat them in the next. And if they're lucky to get to where Marquette is, Marquette's going to.
I've got them getting there, and I've got Marquette blowing them out.
See, of course, we've seen in the past, 2 and 15 seeds. There's always that 15 seed that beats the 2 seed. Princeton last year over Arizona. Right. I mean, could it be Marquette and Western Kentucky? I've seen stuff on Instagram and ESPN saying that the most picked upset is Western Kentucky over Marquette. I mean, you don't know with these things.
But I'm going different this year for me. This is I know us all opinionated. I don't think we're going to see one. I don't think we're going to see a one lose early.
I don't think so either.
I just don't. Yeah. I don't think we are. I think we could see ones go.
When you look at the paths, UConn, even though I love Donnie Jones and Stetson, covered him, and Marshall, then FAU, Northwestern, those are 2 teams. FAU went to the Final Four last year. Northwestern's better, but are they really going to challenge? Their first challenge, honestly, I think Auburn beats them. I've got Auburn in the Final Four.
And hey, I like it.
Yeah. Well, I don't have Auburn in my. I got Auburn at the end of the 8, but I like I'm Dustin. I'm not so much sure about the bottom 2 ones, but Houston and North Carolina to me are.
That's who I got.
I think they both could win it all.
Yeah. Who you guys got in the Elite 8?
For the Elite 8, for me, I've got UConn just because UConn, with their track record being the defending national champions, seems like they beat everybody about 10, 15 points plus. Iowa State, the run they've been on, winning their conference tournament.
Dominant.
Yeah, North Carolina, they're always in it. Arizona, I feel like is going to be a threat this year with the size and the athleticism. Houston, Kentucky, and then Purdue and Tennessee. Those are my Elite 8, in my opinion.
I've got Auburn, Iowa State, Houston, Marquette. I really like those teams. And then I'm going St. Mary's, Arizona. I really like St. Mary's. I know they don't have a great history in the tournament. I like them, and I like Arizona because Arizona in the tournament's always magic.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they honestly got a better road to get there than what the number 1 seed in North Carolina. Because North Carolina, if they beat Wagner, which they probably will, you got a red-hot Mississippi State or Michigan State team waiting on them. Then you could have a red-hot St. Mary's team in front of them, where I think Arizona's got an easier road to get there. And then I've got Gonzaga and Tennessee, which,
Gonzaga never count out.
Yeah, never count out Gonzaga, even though I think, they got McNeese State to start things off. Then they could have Kansas next. Then they could have Tennessee after that. So, and then, I've got Purdue, Gonzaga. Wait a minute, I'm all confused. The way this bracket is, it's really confusing. So I got St. Mary's, Arizona, Gonzaga, Tennessee, and I've got Houston, Marquette, Auburn, and Iowa State.
Okay.
I've got one seed making it, and that's Houston. I've got a 1, a 4, a 2, and a 5 going to the.
I can't pull mine up, so I don't know.
My Elite 8 is UConn versus Illinois, North Carolina, Arizona, Duke, Kentucky, Purdue, South Carolina. And I got Duke and Purdue, and I got North Carolina, UConn, and then I got North Carolina, Duke playing for the championship, and I got North Carolina winning.
Hey, can you pull up my bracket on that?
I think Purdue might be out after the first weekend.
Oh man, I don't know.
It could,
Purdue, they're a solid team. Obviously, we know what happened last year.
Yeah,
Get beat in the first round.
And they're so beatable.
Mm-hmm.
If they didn't have Edey.
Oh yeah, if they didn't have Zach Edey, yeah, they wouldn't even.
They might not even be here.
Man, those 1 seeds. The safest bet right now is UConn, just because Houston.
You're a little
we saw
early. Your
bad they
bracket
got
will appear
beat
soon.
by Iowa State.
Oh, it's not going to show your bracket till
just dominated.
We can't look at each other's bracket till they actually set the.
I think the
Final Four is Tennessee. Let's see, who was the number 2? I got Tennessee. Was Arizona the number 2 in Kentucky's?
Yeah.
I mean, North Carolina.
Yeah.
I got Tennessee, Arizona, Houston, and Iowa State. That's my Final Four. Okay. I've got 1s and 2s, so I like that. I really risked a lot, but.
Yeah, obviously, what kind of you worried about Tennessee going into?
I'm
Very
worried. I'm worried about
I'm
the
worried
first game
sick.
because everything
They're a
I
regular
said.
season team, in my opinion.
Are you kidding?
Listen, but if you
Have you
look
seen
at
their track record? They lost to FAU last year. Loyola Chicago.
I'm
in the past.
actually saying, are you kidding? Are
Oregon
they worried?
State, yeah.
They should be worried.
I'm hoping they're going to use that as fuel.
Yeah.
Okay, come on, Hayden. You can't wear that shirt and be talking like Dusty.
You can't wear that shirt.
I'm just.
If you lose, if you lose before the Elite Eight, that shirt's gone.
No, I actually like the shirts real
20
comfy.
back right now, that 20 back that I won off of you in football, that Tennessee goes farther than Alabama.
Well, you've lost your mind. We're going to lose in the first round.
To St. Mary's?
Well, I thought you said you got Tennessee picked to lose in the first round.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
Charleston.
kidding
Yeah.
with you.
Oh.
That ain't very far. I ain't got y'all going
Yeah,
very
Charleston,
far.
and then they play the winner of Grand Canyon, St. Mary's if they moved on.
Grand Canyon's no slouch. St. Mary's
Yeah,
is no
I've got
struggle in
Grand
that
Canyon
game.
beating St. Mary's in mine.
I mean, and Charleston. I mean, their coaches.
How
on
do
a
you
lot
know?
of
I may have
people's
y'all picked to win
search.
for some reverse psychology.
I got you.
So, what's Bama's chances here, Dustin?
None.
Listen, they're athletic enough; they can go on a run. Now, they didn't make the
They're-
greatest showing in the SEC tournament either.
But they are one of the quickest offenses in all of the nation. Though,
Now,
too.
if we're 75 to 80% from three, we're going to win it all.
Right.
But
How many teams are 75, 80%?
zero. So therefore, that's what I'm saying. That's our chances of winning.
And it would, especially after last year, when you saw, was it San Diego State, UConn, FAU, and Miami? Would any of these teams shock you?
No.
By going, other than the 14 through 16 seeds, and maybe actually about the 12 through 16 seeds. But would anyone else on this board shock anybody after what happened a year ago?
No.
Not to me. I think, man, if there's one of those teams that's a 14 or so, something like that. I mean, I could see Sanford maybe getting to the Sweet 16, but I mean, after that,
I've got Kansas
I've got
Gonzaga
the
playing each other well, but I do have Kansas beating Gonzaga in that game.
I just don't know about Kansas. They got some injured players.
Injured players, but if they're,
Hey, I think
they'll
though-
self in the tournament's tough, man.
Yeah, it is tough.
It is.
He's just tough. He just knows what he's doing. All right, guys, we're coming up next here in our next segment. We're going to talk about the thing we love to talk about the most. Wrestling.
Wrestling.
Coming up
Wrestling.
next here on X Sports Live.
The Summit of Lawrenceburg is the premier senior and assisted living community in the region. The Summit makes it home for you or your loved one with diverse suites that welcome and encourage community, plus gathering spaces, neighborhoods, daily activities, and a wonderful staff that supports you every day.
Hi, I'm Tara Blue. I'm the new director of the Summit, and we would like to invite you and your family to come and tour our facility. We would love to see you here.
Make your property rock and roll with services from GNS Excavating, specializing in white sand, compost, mulch, topsoil, landscape gravel, and steel landscape edging. Turn to the pros who know how to make your project shine with years of experience. The best part is they're locally owned and operated. Choose from a vast selection of mulch and rock from their conveniently located facility at number 3 Valley Road in Lawrenceburg, just off Buffalo Road. Phone 931-279-3841 and get started.
Hey, this is Phil Hooper. Get the look you want for your favorite school, church, or business with apparel from HD Ink Screen Printing in Leoma, Tennessee. Got a logo you need embroidered or screen printed? Let HD Ink give you the professional look that sets the bar in today's world. We do fundraisers and custom designed apparel and so much more. Call today, 931-201-2961, or come see us at our new shop located at 26 Ingram Road in Leoma. Remember, HD Ink for the look you want and the look you deserve.
If you're stuck, then you're in luck. Call Tyler McDowell with In-Service Towing, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for quick, reliable service. When you find yourself in a bind, In-Service offers full-service towing and recovery services as well as vehicle lockouts, jump starts, and emergency roadside assistance. Family-owned, family-operated. When you need a hand, call In-Service Towing or ask for them by name. Serving Southern Tennessee and North Alabama. Phone number 931-843-9098 or visit inservicespecialties.com.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
right, we're back here on Exports Live. Dusty Kaiser didn't pull a Braun Strowman and break a door handle in here. He's trying to become the beast incarnate on this door that just doesn't want to open up on him.
Not ain't over yet.
Not even over yet.
Ben, I did not break your door yet.
Yet. Keyword. Well, guys, it just seems like every time we come together, we're a month away from WrestleMania, or just a little?
We're less than a month.
Less than a month away.
We're down to we're getting down to just the days.
Yeah.
2.5 weeks, ain't it?
Yeah.
I'm looking it up to date right now.
About 2 weeks.
I think it's the 18th or something like that, but it's creeping together. We're starting to see the storylines really start.
April the 6th.
April the 6th. Oh wow, that's
2.5 weeks.
We're 2.5 weeks.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah, we're gonna have a cookout at the big guy's house.
I'm in.
Yeah, we're gonna have ourselves a good time out there. But storylines are certainly there. I think we all know what to expect at this point. I think even some of the cards are starting to leak out. That first night's going to be jam-packed with a lot of matches. Looks like night 2 is just going to be all about the championships. And
but it's just about. Well, the good thing if they're doing it with night 1 is what the stipulation is going to be for the championship.
Yep.
So if you're going to have 2 nights of it, at least give us something that you would want to have to, what wasn't last WrestleMania, but the WrestleMania before, you gave us Stone Cold to close out night 1. Well, everybody's going to watch that, so you got to do something. So you get to see the Rock on night 1. Of course, I've still got, and I'm sure we'll get into the storyline. I've got I was so mad. I knew we were going to talk about wrestling, and of course, everybody knows I live with my mom. Yeah. So it literally was just like I was 17 again. Yeah. I was trying to find my Stone Cold Steve Austin shirt, and I'm literally yelling, "Mom, where's my Stone Cold shirt?" I couldn't find it.
But Jennifer's like, what?
I don't know. She probably thinking, you still got that?
Yeah, it still fits like I was in high school, Mom.
But anyways, I've got my theories on what's going to happen. I hope I'm right on it, and I'm probably going to be a little disappointed if it doesn't. We all know I'm wanting a rattlesnake appearance in the storyline.
I want it so bad too.
And he doesn't. Is Dustin Rhodes still under contract with AEW? So he's out.
Yeah, he's out.
Before we get to that, Al Snow said something. Before we get into WrestleMania, Al Snow said something this week about AEW. He's on a podcast with Vince Russo every other time, and he thinks he didn't predict it. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he's thinking that something really bad because of what they do in that organization. They're more match driven than what they are storyline driven, and they've already suspended a guy last week for being an unsafe worker. He's thinking someone might end up dying.
You're talking about AEW?
Yeah, at AEW.
Oh,
Not WWE.
Did you hear Cornette's rant on Darby Allin?
I hear every rant about Cornette.
Was it Darby Allin? Is that Sting's partner?
Yeah,
Yes.
he went through real glass.
And
Yes, that was stupid.
Stupid.
And, well, it's not just that you're taking that chance on possibly keeping yourself from working and making a living and possibly killing yourself. Yeah. You went through glass that shattered and went into the crowd.
Yeah, because it was right there.
Yeah. And I was going to talk on that. Everything except the glass stuff in that Sting match, I was okay with. It could have been a lot better.
It was too much.
It was too much. Too much.
It was way too much of that. That wasn't any how Sting ever wrestled, or he was never a hardcore guy or anything that extreme. But to their credit, at least they didn't send him out a loser. Right. At least he got to go out on his own, and they made it about him.
They did, and I said this a couple of weeks ago, talking this right here about Sting. He's had the worst booking of any icon legend ever in professional wrestling.
And I think we did. I think I said it when we did our ranks. I said Sting really must be that nice of a guy to put up with.
He don't take up for himself.
No,
he never took up for himself. I mean, you think for us, Surfer Boy Sting was his best. Yeah. I mean, I know the Crow and all that was really good, but that was ruined. I mean,
they got ruined at Starrcade.
Yes, it got ruined in '97.
Right. But and it started the downfall of WCW.
Yeah, it started it all.
Yeah. But to what you were saying, not to get off topic, but I've tried to watch some AEW.
I can't do it.
And I try to watch it for Big Show. I try to watch it for guys like that also that was never done right.
Right.
But never treated like he should have been.
He's never
or used how he's supposed to be. So I just kind of tune in every once in a while to see some of the former guys, but it's just hard to watch. It's just too hardcore. And I'm like Al Snow. Somebody's going to get hurt or killed.
Yes. And all the matches are the same. So it's just a bunch of high spots, people going through tables. There's no storyline. And
you know, the more you listen to Grill and JR or some of his, he's having a hard time saying.
His positivity is.
It's dropping.
It has went way down.
Way down.
He tried to build that up so big, but now he can't.
But, I mean, they don't have big personalities.
No.
WWE, I mean, Sting is the greatest example. We have one of the greatest storylines ever in the history of wrestling for 17 months, and Sting never said a word.
Yeah.
That's how good he was. And now you got these guys who can't talk, and all they can do is, as Cornette calls them, the trampoline cowboys.
That's right.
And that's what they do, and every match is the same, and then there's just no build-up, no storyline, and the best guy that they have is hurt because he's doing all that beating.
Yeah, I think maybe at one time you might could have saw WWE possibly buying them out. I think WWE's just going to wait on them to go out of business.
They don't want that tape library.
No, they don't want that.
They're going to watch the ship crash and burn.
No, it's done crashing.
So now back to WrestleMania. Night one, obviously, we've got my guy, LA Knight's going to face AJ, and I think they're saying AJ's going to take a long break after that. We got Jimmy and Joe starting to come together. What's the is the Intercontinental a three-way?
It's still one-on-one.
As of right now, it was signed Sammy Gunther.
Is it the U.S. that's a three-way?
U.S. that's Orton, Kevin, and Logan Paul. That'll be a really good match, I think.
Those four matches are going to be. I don't think we have a tag. Do we have a tag team match?
Yes,
that's going to be like a ladder match.
A 16 ladder match.
16?
Yeah,
be
16
12 guys.
Yeah, 12 guys in a ladder
match.
Goodness, you're talking about controlled chaos.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
They're having a.
I feel bad for the director of the truck having a.
They're having a tournament through Raw and SmackDown these
Dude,
past
you get all
few
the
weeks.
teams.
Awesome Truth, they're back together.
Yeah.
They're in it. DIY's in it. Yeah, and I think the other teams are being determined Friday.
So we'll have some tag team, and obviously we got Rock and Roman versus Cody and Seth, and then it's looking like night two. We've got the two men's title matches, the two women's title matches, and we got those four, and we're expecting four good ones. Out of those.
I am too. I'm glad that Seth is back healthy for him and Drew. I think Drew McIntyre has really stepped his game up. They've really.
Dude, this heel character where he's making fun of everybody.
Oh, it's so good.
It is so good. He does really good on the microphone, and he does so good in the ring. Right. So I'm really proud, because he was out of wrestling, or he was out of WWE for a long time. So I think that's really good. Of course, Seth. I mean, he's Seth Rollins, so it's all good. I'm excited. I really am. For me, of course, the tag team match with Roman and The Rock and Cody and Seth, but I can't wait to see Jimmy and Jay.
That might be the best match.
Those two guys, just not that they're twins, but they're brothers. So they grew up in this business. They know each other. Their chemistry.
Their chemistry is going to be unreal.
Both nights.
Their chemistry in the ring is going to be so good. Oh, I can't wait.
They've been having this match since they were 8 years old.
They've been doing this at home in their bedroom,
And they've been dreaming for this match too, and they finally got it.
They both made that statement, off air. Is that was their dream, was to fight each other at WrestleMania.
Unfortunately, the card's too stacked, and it's not going to be a headline either.
Sure.
But it's a pretty stacked card. All right, so what are you thinking? What's your theory?
It's not my theory, but it's what I really, really want to happen. And I think it could happen. Now, that doesn't mean you'll see the rattlesnake, but I could see night one Seth screwing over Cody and joining the bloodline as a Shield bloodline. Right. Okay? Because Seth Rollins cannot be trusted. I mean, he's turned heel and face just as much as the Big Show.
Right.
So I don't trust that. I think they're building into that too much. And then I think what I'm hoping, and I think you'll see the next night, is Bloodline will help him against McIntyre.
Right.
Okay. And then it's no holds barred. It's Cody against all the odds. And then I'm hoping you hear that clash at and that finishes. That's what I'm hoping that will happen.
That place will explode. But if it's not, I mean, he's obviously got to get some help somewhere. Do you think
but I still don't see them bringing The Rock back and him losing that night one, because I think they're going to let Cody finish the story and win on night 2. But I think it's going to be against all the odds. I don't think it's going to be on. I don't see it being an
Does he
even.
get any help, like maybe a CM Punk?
Well,
that's another one that
Jay Uso could be one.
He could, but I've been reading. I just been kind of thinking about this one, AJ, and you said it to me the other day. Is The Rock?
And he could be the ultimate turn.
I think where my mind goes as a wrestling fan, and I think y'all be on board with me. So yes, it'd be awesome for the glass to shatter. I mean that'd be like a dream come true for all of us old guys and Hayden. But for The Rock to screw Roman, help Cody, and then set up the WrestleMania or the SummerSlam match.
Because originally, remember, Cody was going to give The Rock his spot.
He was going to, and he.
And the fans totally changed that.
Yes.
The fans changed that.
I don't think it'll happen where The Rock turns and does anything to Roman, but I could see him walking away and saying, "Sorry, you got to do this on your own." You know, it's the right thing to do, because you can't shoot all these Instagram videos and do all these and talk about family, and then turn on your family, because then you look like a bigger heel to me. You know what I mean?
You're right, but I don't know. Either way,
I could see it coming down to something like he's got the opportunity to hit him with a chair and just drops it and walks out. Says, "Do it on your own."
In the words of Randy Savage, you win them in the ring and you lose them in the ring.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's what's so good about the story right now.
But come on, WWE.
It's the same story.
Don't let us down.
That we grew up with. Like, they've got you right in the palm of their hand. They've got your mind thinking so many things, and we're going to be so glued into the TV that day where we just go, what is going to happen? Like, we're going to be on the edge of our seats.
And it could be something, and it could be like, we all could look at each other and be like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
Where'd this come from?
Or it may be somebody. It may not be Stone Cold.
And it could be something that they totally crap the bed, and we go, "Oh gosh," and we all just go, and then we come gripe about it.
And next Wednesday we're fixing a fire on WWE for the whole hour and a half.
It could be that, but they've got us in the palm of our on almost every match.
But I will say this: wrestling's back.
Yeah,
it is. It's back.
I mean, it's cutting back in the mainstream. People are excited about it. We might. This is going to be a fun WrestleMania. I can't believe it's in 2 weeks. We've been talking about it.
We've been talking about it for 2 months. It seems like.
And, it's shaping up. The matches we thought were going to happen are happening. It's going to be a lot of fun those 2 nights. Hey, 2 nights at Camp Kaiser over here.
All right.
I'm loving. You liking that idea, big fella?
I'm in, man. We're going to be doing some cooking and some eating.
All right. Well, coming up next here, we'll end the show with our rants. That's here on X Sports Live.
Hey guys, I'm Kyle Hammock, General Manager here at Heritage Automotive, your Chevy GMC dealer in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. I am from Marshall County, Tennessee, where I went to Cornersville High School. I attended Cumberland University. After Cumberland, I went into the United States Marine Corps to serve the country. After that, I went right back into the car business. I'm very familiar with the car business. I have been around the car business pretty much my entire life. And my commitment to you is to ensure the most competitive new and used vehicle pricing on the market, as well as the best service around. Well, we'll treat you like family here at Heritage Automotive in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
Hood Company Real Estate is highlighting the beautiful home located at 786 Hillview Drive in Lawrenceburg as this week's property of the week. This spacious 4-bedroom, 4-bath brick residence sits on a picture-perfect 3+ acre lot and features an attached, extra-large 2-car garage. This is a solid custom-built home with many updates, including a new HVAC system and tankless hot water heater, plus the price has recently been reduced. For more on this and many other homes, check out hoodcompanyhome.com or phone 931-762-5816.
Jack Davis Insurance, located at 201 West Gage Street in Lawrenceburg, has you covered through all of life's obstacles. Facing those challenges is easier together. That's why Jack Davis specializes in group insurance. Cover the most valuable aspect of your business, your employees, with coverage for life, accident, cancer, critical illness, short-term disability, dental, and vision. Jack Davis can customize plans for every need. Serving Lawrence and surrounding counties since 1987. Contact Jack Davis Insurance today at 931-242-5225.
Are you looking for the perfect refrigerator? What about a new stove or washer or dryer? It only makes sense to shop at the one place that specializes in appliances, top to bottom, big or small. And that's Kelly Appliance in Lawrenceburg. Kelly Appliance is home to all major name brands, including LG. LG makes life good with a full selection of refrigerators, cooking appliances, dishwashers, microwaves, and more, including appliances made right here in Tennessee. Family owned and family operated. Stop by Kelly Appliance on Jerry Street in Lawrenceburg today.
At Lawrenceburg Federal Bank, we're proud to be locally owned and operated because we're not just a bank, we're family. When you call, you'll be greeted by a friendly representative who's ready to discuss your banking needs, as well as offer our competitive rates on CDs and money market accounts. Our loan decisions are made in-house and never sold to a secondary market because our commitment is simple. You matter to us. At Lawrenceburg Federal, we offer all the conveniences of larger banks with a personal touch. Join us at Lawrenceburg Federal Bank, where community, trust, and service come together.
Lawrenceburg Flooring and More is your premier source for hardwood, laminate, luxury vinyl tile, sheet vinyl, residential and commercial carpet, carpet tiles, ceramic and porcelain tile, waterproof floating floor, plus blinds and shutters. Lawrenceburg Flooring and More is also home to all name brands and can tackle projects big and small. Installation, you're covered with installers who've got years of experience and stand behind their work. Let Lawrenceburg Flooring and More make your design dreams a reality. 2760 Highway 43 North, or visit LawrenceburgFlooringandMore.com.
Whether you're looking to spruce up the interior or exterior of your home or business, trust Lawrenceburg Glass to provide a one-of-a-kind product. From windows to mirrors, shower doors, custom framing, storefront installations, and everything in between, Lawrenceburg Glass takes pride in our quality craftsmanship and strong attention to detail. With us, your customer experience always exceeds expectations. We're reliable, on time, and we deliver stunning results. Lawrenceburg Glass. Our passion is reflected in our work.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
Welcome back here to X Sports Live. Here, time for the rants, our final segment of the show. Guys, I'm just going to kick things off here. Mine's pretty simple. Has to do with baseball. And, we had an incident with Lawrence County down there at the beach. Cutler Copu was on our show tonight. Got intentionally hit in the head during that game. That's one of my biggest pet peeves, is trying to intentionally hurt somebody, especially if you don't know. Go back and watch the game against Fairhope there in that tournament semifinal. I'm not a fan of it, and clearly that came from the coaching staff there at Fairhope. It's a cheap shot, and read an article when the guy was hired that he's a great man, he's an outstanding man, a great example for the kids. Well, if you do that, you're not a great example, and you're probably a little tiny human being. So that's my opinion of you. Anyone who does that, if you're a coach that does that, it's one thing if a player just goes rogue.
Yeah.
If you can, you clearly can see by the dugout's reaction, coach's reaction, fans' reaction that wasn't planned, and players do go rogue. So you can't judge every hit by pitch that way. But if you're going to hit someone on person, put them in their rear end, put them on the meaty part of the body, not throw at their head.
Don't go ear hole.
Yeah,
you don't want to try to hurt anybody. I don't care what sport it is.
Yeah, that clearly came from the coaching staff.
Sure.
It's cheap. You should be fired. I know you're not going to be fired. You should at least be suspended. And any coach that does that, I don't care what level you teach that at, what sport you teach it at, if you're trying to intentionally hurt somebody, retire, get out of the game, never work in sports ever again. That's my opinion. And last little thing is for some of you who need to hear it, be careful what you wish for, because you might get it, and it's not everything that you think it's going to be. So, guys.
That's a good saying, AJ. That's a good way to end your talk. You got anything, British?
Not a rant. Go ahead.
All right.
I'll go first since I know you got something to say. Mine's just quick and simple. I'll have to wait till Friday, see what happens, just because that's when I'll figure out more about it. But, just for people that are watching, we don't do this to make money. I mean, obviously that's our jobs, but then again, we do this for the fans we do this to the fans to enjoy watching their kids playing, no matter where, your famous if you're from California watching your grandson that plays at Loretta High School or Summertown High School or Lawrence County High School, any of the above. We do this for y'all, and I'll just keep it at that for now.
And it's most importantly.
Yep.
It's for the kids.
For the kids.
Everything we do here is for the kids, which is why we bring them on.
I've said that before. I said no other community can go back 10, possibly 15, 20 years from now and watch. I get to watch every game M's played since her sophomore year because of what we did.
Absolutely.
And
I do, and I will go just one more step on that. I do think about the grandparents, the older grandparents who can't get out, or whether it be a cold football game or a baseball game or in a gym. Yeah. And I do think about those people that do get to enjoy X Sports and what we do with the kids, for the kids,
The great thing is, we still got a lot of people going to games, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Those gyms are packed.
They're packed.
Hey, listen.
Gyms and stadiums are packed, and they're still going back and watching, which we appreciate.
There's a gym about 600 yards from us right here. Yeah. That's the biggest one around in this area. Yeah. And Tuesday night and a Friday night, you can't get in there. Yeah.
No other place to be.
That's it.
Yeah. So that's good rants there. Got anything, Clint? Any shout out to him?
Oh, I ain't done my rant. My rant don't have anything to do with X Sports or sports related. And I wasn't going to go into a lot of detail, but I think I am a little bit. Guys, we talk about raising, and I'm going to talk, when I say raising, like how we were raised. And I know, Hayden, I point at you sometime as the young one on the set, but you are. This past week, Monday, matter of fact, this week Monday, I was had a funeral I went to, and I have never been so disgusted in my life with people that would not pull over for a funeral procession. And I don't mean like, when I say pull over, I don't mean slow down on the shoulder but keep creeping, like stop. I was raised, I remember my papa, which Clint knew my papa well, he always said, when you see that, you pull over, and we always wore hats as kids, and most of the time I have one on. You take your hat off. Guys, I'm going down the bypass, fixing to turn on the Fall River Road, and we had a budget truck passing cars.
Passing the funeral?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. Wow, that's...
And of course...
Did you call that number on the back? I would have.
No, actually, I rolled my window down because they had their window down, and my wife, she's grabbing, saying, don't get a shot. And I spoke my piece. And, of course, the truck nosedived and stopped. How do you not know that?
Yeah, everyone's got their flashers on. You see the hearse.
There's a cop. Yeah. I mean, everything, like... And everybody's in a single file line, going 35 miles an hour. But my thing is that is just so, and we've talked about this, but like that's so disrespectful.
Very.
I don't care how you look at it. I don't care what kind of hurry you're in or what. That is so disrespectful. And it wasn't just the budget truck I seen. I seen people just driving up north on 43 that done the same thing. So if anybody gets anything out of what I say, just know that there are people who are going through things and sometimes being disrespectful just ain't what they need.
Right. It's the last thing.
Yes. And that's all I got. Come on, people. We can do better.
I can't agree more.
Yep.
Can't
Well,
agree
listen, to what you were saying, I don't have a rant, and I'm going to get AJ or you to crop this out so I can send it to her. But speaking of raising, I mean, I've God knows, I wish I'd done a lot of things different with my kids, but I've got something right. And my oldest one, she's the one that worked in Orlando. Yeah. She never ceases to surprise me. She's came back, took a job in Nashville with a record label. Well, now she's quit it because she's got her dream job, and she is moving next week to Raleigh, North Carolina to do marketing for Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Awesome.
Oh,
Awesome.
That is her dream job. So Riley Brazier, your dad and your parents, we couldn't be more proud of you.
Yeah. What a great way to end the show.
Yeah, good way to end the show,
All kinds
Brazier.
of positivity. Congratulations, Riley. And guys, we had a great show here tonight. Looking forward to doing it again next week. So for Hayden Burks, Dusty Kaiser, Clint Brazier, I'm AJ Good. We'll see you guys next week.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.